And by the way, I remember reading once, so Max Levchin, who is one of the most, brilliant people in Silicon Valley. This guy, one of the co-founders of PayPal. And without Max, there is no PayPal, which you could probably say for a couple people, but specifically, anybody at PayPal will tell you that Max's technical brilliance in fighting the fraudsters kept PayPal alive when any other money transmitting service just died because the fraudsters just had too much to gain and they were too sophisticated. And as a young company, it's really hard to defend against it. And Max went to war with them and actually fended them off enough where they succeeded. So brilliant programmer, right? Chess, whatever, master, brilliant programmer, blah, blah, blah. Creates PayPal, this monumental thing. His next act was a company called Slide. And Slide basically made virtual pets for MySpace. It was what? It's on your MySpace profile, your Facebook profile, we're going to make little apps so you can, engage with your friends and interact. It's interact how? It's well, we just invented this app called Bitch Slap, where you could bitch slap any one person a day on Facebook. It's what? Yeah, but only one. And so
But then it got even lamer, didn't it? It became an ad tech company.
Well, how do you monetize, right? With all these things, how do you monetize his ads? And so they were creating slideshows and music video tools. But anyways, it was stuff to go on your MySpace and Facebook profiles. And they go, Max, you built Slide. It got really popular. Then the platforms kind of shut down some of the capabilities. And I think they ended up selling to Google for some small amount. And they were like, Max, what'd you learn from Slide?
Small for him. It was still a multi-$100 million exit.
But I think they had raised a lot of money. So I don't think anybody really made too much. So I'll never forget this. I read this quote and I realized, oh shit, this describes my life. And so I read this 15 years ago. I've still never forgot it. They go, what did you learn from Slide? And he said, he goes, I realized you got to be really careful what projects you pick because anything can be optimized to infinity. And it's what do you mean? He goes, we picked that we were going to do these widgets on top of profiles. And guess what? The smartest people in the world can spend every moment of every day optimizing that to make that more engaging, more viral, more addictive, higher monetization. And that's what we did. We spent years of our lives doing that. And I think that was his big takeaway was he didn't say it, but the implied thing is what a waste. Be careful because every knob can get optimized to infinity.
He became the best pogo stick player in the world.
Yeah. And I felt this many times in my life and I don't really even know how to deal with it, to be honest, because when you have the realization, you're shit, should I just stop? Or I don't know. I don't want to stop. This is my job. This is a successful business. Should it? With my e-com store, I feel this, you change the color of this and then you run this A/B test. You do. And it's dude, what are we doing? Is this what we should be doing with our time and our life and our creative energy? And I do have that kind of existential crisis, every few years, just thinking about this quote.
Let me be your therapist for a minute, as well as anyone else who's in this situation,
Please.
Which is your product doesn't have to change the world. Your product actually, as a CEO or owner, could be, I create jobs for wonderful people and I give them a great place to work. And most people just want a 9 to 5 and they want to play softball on the weekends. And they want to make sure they've got good health insurance. And they want to see their kids raised and be healthy. You don't need a life-changing thing all the time to have a badass thing. And I don't think that it's fair to compare all these products to the Teslas or whatever, or these existential crisis things, because just having a piece of clothing item or an item of clothing that you can give to someone or that makes you feel good about yourself, or a game just to play time. I mean, we just have a podcast that you could say, oh, we inspire people. Sometimes we just jerk around and it's just funny. That is also awesome. It's not the right thing to say this compared to this other thing is so stupid, when it's no, you could have all of those things. And I get inspired listening to music, and then there's a lot of music that's just silly, dumb stuff. And there's some music that actually changes me. There's some movies that change me. And then there's stupid Vine skits. It's all in the same category. And that's okay. We can have all of that. And my product could be creating a workplace that people love coming and I inspire them. Or it could be, I just have created a future for my daughter. You know what I mean? So I don't think that your product necessarily has to be the thing you're selling, but the thing you're building.